Hi everyone, it's Casey Williams. Range Rovers are always very nice vehicles, and this one looks like pretty much any other Range Rover. It's big, it's luxurious, it's elegant from the outside, and it casts a pretty big shadow. But hidden right here in the grille is a secret. It's the plug. Meet the Range Rover plug-in hybrid. Let's go have a look at it. We might as well start with the part that makes this Range Rover the most special. It is the plug. Open up the little door here, plug in. So plugging in the vehicle gives you a 30-mile all-electric range, and you can achieve that in about 14 hours on your home electricity, or about 3 hours on a commercial charger. Again, 30 miles is actually pretty nice, and kind of, for most people, it gets you to the office and back. But the rest of the Range Rover, it looks like a Range Rover. LED headlamps, the flush grille, and this model especially, this edition of the car, looks very streamlined, looks very nice. Sits up high, 20-inch alloy wheels. A lot of body color trim on this one, so you kind of see the side gills here, but they just blend right in. Same with the roof. It just looks very nice, very sleek, and I really like the way it wraps around the back. It just has a very Range Rover profile. It's been that way since the 1970s, but it also translates very well into a very modern, sleek luxury SUV. The way the tail lamps come in, I think looks very nice. Everything about the Range Rover just says elegance. Power hatch. Also a power tailgate that comes down, of course. And plenty of space to get all your luggage in back here. The interior of the Range Rover is about the nicest cabin outside of, maybe a Rolls Royce or a Gulfstream jet. And it really starts up front with the seats. It's really super soft leather, heated and cooled. You can extend the lower cushions. Very comfortable headrests as well, like first class airline seats. Very nice. And of course, all the interior materials are just very nice. Everything feels well made, stitched. The Kalahari wood here. And there's different wood choices, but just cabinet grade veneers. The console, the doors, even on the back of the console here as well. All look very, very nice. Comes to infotainment, it's all touchscreen. I find this confusing. There's a volume knob down below. I'd really like to have the volume knob up here. I'd also like to have a tuning knob so I can just very easily go through stations. And you're sitting in traffic, you kind of want to go through satellite radio stations. It'd be a lot easier to have a knob, and you just find yourself kind of clicking. But the rest of it's not too bad to use. So it's on audio now. Navigation, there's an icon there. Phone setups. Bluetooth, of course, for all your Bluetooth inputs. It's got USBs. And back to your media. We've got an entertainment system here in the back seat as well. Screens on the back of the headrests. All work out very well. Some of the other nice features of this car has electrically heated front windshield. So you come out there's ice in the windshield. It clears off very, very quickly. You don't even have to wait for the car to completely warm up. Again, all glass touchscreen down below. Heat and cool seats are controlled here, plus the individual sides of the climate control. Flat screen dash instrument cluster, reconfigurable gauges, heads-up display. A lot of safety gear on this vehicle. So you've got adaptive cruise control, forward collision alert, and auto brake on the front, blind spot warning, lane keep assist, pretty much everything you need for that as well. And a couple more things I want to talk to you about while we're in here. This is the controls for the train response system. So what that will do is configure the powertrain and the chassis for different types of on-road and off-roading conditions. So you want to configure it for mud, you can do that. Configure it for rocks, off-roading, you can do that. And it just pretty much sets all the vehicle up. That works out very nice as well. Here, the air suspension, you can raise the vehicle up. It's capable of fording almost 3 feet of water. So even though it's a plug-in hybrid, you can still do some pretty serious off-roading with this vehicle. Well, the hybrid may not be the fastest Range Rover, but it's still plenty fast enough. You do 0-60 in 6.4 seconds. That's because it has the equivalent of 398 horsepower and 472 pound-feet of torque. It's coming both from the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 8-speed automatic transmission, plus the battery pack electric motors. So plenty of power to get the thing off the line, plenty of power to cruise about any speed you want to go. Some of the things that I've noticed this week driving it though is because it's a hybrid, the throttle and the brakes are pretty sensitive. There's regenerative braking, so there's generators in the brakes helping to recharge the batteries. And when you step on the brakes, it'll grab really quick, again, trying to replenish the battery as much as it can, and then it lets off, as you slow down a little bit. So it's not bad once you get used to it, and that's kind of typical in a hybrid, but just a little bit different than, what Range Rover coasters may be used to with the vehicle. The other things I've noticed too, the throttle is, very sensitive, again, really the computer's always trying to manage the power coming from the engine plus the power coming from the battery pack and make that as smooth as possible. So, a few miles and you kind of get used to that. But outside of that, just driving it's just smooth. I mean, it's just typical Range Rover. The suspension's pretty soft. It just rumbles over rough pavement, kind of wafts down the highway like a big luxury car should, and it's just very nice. Like I said a little bit a while ago, I think this is kind of confusing. The infotainment system. I think going down the road, trying to find the buttons, trying to tune the radio, is just a little more than it needs to be. But outside of that, it's just joy to sit in. Nice, big, comfortable seats. The heads-up display is nice. Gauge is easy to read, and 4 or 5 people can get in here very, very comfortably and travel anywhere you want to go. This may not be the fastest Range Rover, but it's still plenty fast enough. And what I really like is it keeps all the Range Rover luxury, all the Range Rover off-road capability, and does that with a 30-mile all-electric range. Well, one other thing this vehicle has that's very much like a Range Rover is price. Well, the Range Rover starts about $96,000. This one, all in, $105,695. So if that doesn't bother you, I think it's a pretty nice, very smooth vehicle. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.